Hey, everybody.
Hi,
Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
And guess what?
We're a day late and a dollar short, aren't we?
You stole my line. We owe a belated birthday wish to all of our Aquarians because this is
our
the
monthly modality message for the sign that's good through the sign of Aquarius. Happy birthday to all our Aquarian friends out there.
Happy birthday, Aquarius.
May you have a great Aquarian season.
So the modality message is another way of giving a monthly astrology kind of gist of what's going on, but it's divided up by your modality rather than your actual sun sign or maybe your elemental. So the modality energies differ from one to one. We're going to start with We're
going to give you news you can use for all the modalities of the Zodiac. We are starting with the cardinal signs, who are
Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And if you notice, it's one from each elemental association. So here's the gist of it. Modality sign cardinals are initiators. They get things started. They're active, quick, ambitious, vim and vigor. They're not slackers, enthusiastic, zest for life. And of course, there may be a couple of negatives.
I'm leaving the set for a moment because you made me get up, Mr. O. I forgot something.
Oh.
Bly is here. I forgot Bly.
It's Bly!
Bly wants to wish the Aquarians happy birthday.
Thank you, Bly.
Okay.
The negatives.
What are the negatives?
Well, as just witnessed, because you are one of them, too domineering and self-centered, forgetting about others, but not Bly, as they focus on their stuff. Often don't finish what they start. Well, that's not
I just want to say cats are people too.
Bly, don't worry. We love you.
So, on with the show. Yes, I am a cardinal sign being an Aries, and I'm definitely an initiator, but not a finisher. Here you go. Why don't
Some
you
other
shuffle?
Modality hopefully takes care of that.
Oh,
we'll find that out later.
Goodness sakes, won't we now?
But okay. So each modality, we pull 4 cards and we describe some things about the modality and or where their energies can be applied. So we're going to get started right away. I'm just going to give these a little tumble here, and then we're going to cut and conquer.
That's the spirit.
All right.
So basically, the first card is the primary focus for the cardinal signs in the month ahead. In this astrological month ahead, let me add. Oh my, cardinal signs, this is not something I wanted to see. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. Oh, goodness.
Yes, it is the Wheel of Fortune reversed.
Whatever shall we do? You know, we're kind of, I think what it's saying is we're kind of at the whims of fate this month, you know, and sometimes fate is kind and, well, sometimes we have to roll with some bad situations. So, you know, if luck is not on your side, you have to create your own.
This is kind of, you know, challenging for the cardinal signs, if not outright bad, because they're used to starting things and kind of setting a tone of the energy, but fate may have a different idea. So it could be the post effects of Mercury retrograde, things realigning, and maybe everybody else is not quite up to the cardinal sign snuff, or vice versa. The cardinal signs aren't up. But either way, it just sort of puts a little bit of a glitch in the plans or the overall focus of the month.
Whatever you set in motion, you know, expect possible delays or changes of plans, etc. So, you know, it might be a good idea to have some contingencies in place, huh?
Or lay low.
Well, let's see how the other cards go. So, the role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead. And it's another reversal, but it's not a terrible one. There may be help for you out there, you know. That's the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles is reversed. And so it's indicating to me that, you know, maybe you will recover from this. Maybe others will help you recover from this because, you know, it looks as though you're not going to feel alone in this matter, in this situation. Others may come to the rescue when you need it most, cardinal signs.
Right. It looks like kind of like the reaching out thing that people will notice maybe that you're being a little bit, you know, out of sorts because things aren't working exactly the way they do. You like a routine, cardinal signs. And so this disruption that the first card indicates, maybe other people around you are picking up on that and they will be able to help you through this period.
And so the opportunities or challenges you might face in the month ahead, and how best can you achieve or tackle them? Oh boy, well, not this way.
Right, it's another reversal.
My goodness, it's the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And so I think the best way that you can face up and tackle these challenges is really to apply yourself, you know. And also, if you feel you're not up to what's happening here, you know, obviously we told you to ask for help from others, but also maybe ask for some more training or support in that regard.
Bingo.
Maybe there is some skills you need to brush up on, or you know, or you really just need to keep your mojo, regardless of what ups and downs you face. Don't let it throw it off your game and make you lose your, you know, your spirit of, you know, getting things done.
I think this is especially true if, as a cardinal sign, you may be involved in some sort of apprenticeship or intern kind of program.
Nice.
You may want to really think about whether or not it's serving your needs. Maybe you can talk to somebody who's in a position to review that. For other people, it may just feel like you need to brush up on some things. And, you know, both of us being former library people, I'd say go to your local public library and check out, you know, test preparation materials. Maybe now is the time to look into another field and see what's going on. Somewhere else might be helpful to you too. You never know.
I like that, Mr. O. And finally, how can you use your modality's superpowers to best advantage this month? Is the sun reversed? You guys are really having some troubles this month. So, okay, your modality superpowers. You know, you're very ambitious, you're very enthusiastic, and this card is the opposite of that. So I feel here it's saying, you know, you're going to have to dig deep this month. You're going to have to dig deep to find that enthusiasm, find that motivation, and to keep and to maintain your focus. Don't fall into dwelling, well, we're going to recap this, but I mean, don't fall into this state of despair because things just didn't go your way. This happens, and remember, when the wheel is in reverse, it will shift eventually.
You know what I like to think? I like to think that because we have these two major arcanas, we started with the wheel, and then we are here with the sun, and there are two negatives, but two negatives make a positive. Bingo! And so the thing is really is that it won't be that hard to dig deep, to cardinal signs. I look at every one of you and I realize that most of you never really feel like there's a bad situation going on. You just sort of feel like you can just pull it together. I'm not going to mince words on that. I'm just going to say that.
Speaking for me, no, go on.
But you are the ones who can really find a way to buoy yourselves. And the sun is here, negative or otherwise, to tell you that this is about figuring out how to dive deep, dig in, and look for the ray of sunshine, even if it is coming through, you know, some cracks that are barely letting it show. It's still there, and you can expand it.
Let's recap a little bit here. I don't think we have to go into super detail. It fit it like a glove, really.
It did.
Obviously, there's going to be some unexpected twists and turns to your plans. You know, cardinal signs. You're going to have to just roll with it. You know, fighting against the wheel is never a good idea. You don't win. So you got to let it play out. seek help from others. They're more than willing to help you, wouldn't you say?
Others probably actually will notice this on their own, especially if they're connected in you in the ways that matter, and they will find ways to bring you in from that cold feeling you have.
And
with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, the challenge is maybe saying you really need to maybe brush up some skills. There's various things you can do about that, including, just check out resources or talk to people who may be mentoring you.
And finally, you're just going to have to try to dig deep. It's not going to be easy because you're really going to feel the setbacks. It's going to bother you, because we want to just keep going, cardinal signs. But you need to really, really try to dig deep, find that motivation, find that enthusiasm. Think about it as a challenge. You're up against insurmountable odds. You can do this. Give yourself a pep talk.
From the start and always in tarot, we look at the reversed wheel and we say, this is just a cycle you're going through. It's going to turn around and get better. And we should look at that with the sun too. The sun always returns. Every day, a new sun goes over the horizon. There's no doubt about it. So this too shall pass. Maybe not quickly, but it's only a month, right?
Bly and us wish you luck, cardinal signs. Don't worry, it's only a month in time. You'll get through this. All right, let's look at our fixed signs. Hey, is that what's next? I believe so.
Fixed signs. Well, fixed signs are, of course, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius.
So I'll take it from here. Yeah, those darn Scorpios. But anyway, they do have some positive attributes, really, they do. They are steadfastness, stability. They're determined and resolute. They're self-reliant. They forge ahead, against the odds. Fire signs could take a note of that. They remember those who help them.
Well, wait a minute. There is a fire sign in the fixed signs.
All right. I meant cardinal signs. I'm sorry. I am sorry. They don't waste their time. They don't waste motions. They want to just, follow through procedurally with everything. And haste makes waste, Stubborn. They can be stubborn, though. And also, my gosh, they can just be, hey, my way or no way, that kind of thinking. So don't think that they can't get stuck in their ways from time to time. And thinking they are always right. Did I just call out a Scorpio?
She did. Within the modalities, there's always going to be some little attributes of any one of those that maybe doesn't quite resonate that way. So when you think about fixed signs, but then you think about Scorpio that's represented by really a lot of changing elements, you kind of have to figure it out is that some things Scorpios are indeed fixed about, but potentially they have, great power to make transformations. And you could probably extrapolate that to some of the other signs too when you look at them. Does Sagittarius really sound like a mutable sign? Well, or Virgo, really, for that matter.
Proceed.
Indeed.
Blah, blah.
So, back to our first card for the fixed signs. What is the primary focus of the month? And it's the reversed 10 of Cups.
Ooh.
So it may be that the fixed signs are going to have to deal with a little bit of gloomy feelings with people. It may not be personal as much as a pall that falls over your family or your immediate connection. Maybe some of us are dealing with situations where somebody was very ill or something, untoward might have happened. There's any number of reasons why emotionally people are feeling not very top flow.
I'm kind of feeling well, right now, till we see the rest of the cards, but I'm kind of feeling this could be some personal issues, some family issues, some relationship issues. But beyond that, it could also indicate, tens are ends of cycles, and you might be reaching the end of something, and it's not a happy ending. Let's just put it that way. You're not getting the expected results you wanted. You're not getting the joy out of it that you thought you would, or the satisfaction. So something is lacking, and something could be lacking in your personal relationships. I feel that there could be arguments and fights among family members, or between spouses, significant others.
So the focus actually could be about, reviewing what doesn't work relationship wise, or what doesn't work in terms of what you thought you were working towards a more happy, life, and it isn't. And so that's what your primary focus is realizing that and possibly thinking what you have to do about it. Card 2, the role that your interactions will play with others.
Do you know we have had 6 cards now reversed in a row?
And this one really sucks, eh?
Well, it's the 9 of Pentacles.
The 9 of Pentacles
so
reversed
again,
is not a great card.
No, and well, it's not the worst card, but it's not the great. Again, I really think it does tie into this card, and to me, it does signify maybe something in home life. I know there's a material component to this, but the thing is that, coupled with that 10 of Cups, I really feel here that something is really unhappy in the home environment.
You may be dragged out of your comfort zone when dealing with something very personal and home oriented.
Right. I feel as though something is lacking. Maybe you feel you lack support from, the people you are living with or you are involved with intimately or otherwise. You might feel you lack some support. You definitely lack comfort, or a feeling of, it's sort of a feeling of lack. So maybe a lack of purpose, or a lack of, like I said before, satisfaction.
I mean, these could be the kind of things that talk about people who are beginning to separate emotionally from each other, or separate emotionally from some situation, the marriage itself, the family unit itself, or any number of situations. Close friends who are finding that they are really separating from each other over many years, or parents and children. So it could be a very big scenario like that for you.
All right.
So the third card.
Let's move on, because this is interesting. Go on.
The third card is about the opportunities or challenges that you will face in this month ahead, and how best you can achieve or tackle them.
Well, it's upright. But it's the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is upright. Interesting that it is another card of emotions, Well,
when you put it with the others, it almost feels like, that really whatever is causing the major down feelings may capitulate you to really think about your options, or think about other courses that you may affect in some manner. And these are opportunities or challenges, is that you have to face the fact that maybe you have to make some changes, but you're not really sure which way to go.
You have to assess your options. I really think that's what it is here. And, sometimes we can be overwhelmed when we have too many options. So, this is more or less a positive. I mean, it's kind of positive to neutral card. You need to really take the time to assess your options and start limiting them to the most likely to work best for you to solving what's going on here. So I believe that is the challenge.
So card 4, how do you use your modality superpower to its best advantage this month?
Well, what's really interesting about this, Your superpowers are calmly working on your objectives, and all of this, not wasting motions. We have the High Priestess here. The High Priestess is all about trusting your gut, you know, trusting your gut and going with what and moving forward with what you say or with what you're thinking. So I feel here you have all these options before you. What is your gut trying to tell you? What has this entire situation been trying to tell you?
Well, my feeling is that this is saying be more in control of your emotions. Don't necessarily
I like that.
play them out to everyone to see. Like, just sort of have a sense of, when you're dealing with these situations, to not make them personal or emotionally indicative of your feeling. Try to maintain a neutral, I'm looking for a word, stance here. And it's really, it's not about calmness so much as
Well,
it is.
Because you need to remain calm. You're feeling bad. You need to remain calm. One of your other superpowers is being persistent and concentrating, focused concentration. So that's why I'm thinking here, focusing on your choice, your options, and then moving forward with it, implementing it, Don't waste efforts on things that are not going to work out. That's your superpower, using your gut to determine what is going to work best for you and just running with it.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let's run through it again.
Let's run through it again. All right. So you can start.
Well, it's not a great month. Once again, it just sort of seems like there's some real depressing situation or things that are really challenging on the emotional fronts for you. You may feel lost. You may feel unfocused with your relationships, whatever they are.
Right. You may be feeling sad. There's something, in the relationships, whether it's with family, friends, significant others, that is not working right, is making you unhappy, maybe making others unhappy too. There's unhappiness. And so how do you solve it? You realize here that something is lacking. There's something lacking, a lack of satisfaction, a lack of support perhaps from others. Perhaps you feel people aren't doing, enough or contributing enough. And maybe that's what part of this is.
Well, I often feel that card there in that position talks about being challenged to go around your comfort zone, or that it's gonna feel uncomfortable, especially if you have to interact with others over what that situation is, because you're really gonna be trying to bare your heart in certain ways and explain why you're uncomfortable.
Right, and then we have the Seven of Cups, which is just basically, and I think Mr. O can just agree with this, is just assess your options, look things over. You may have many ideas on what's needed, but what will work? And, once you come up with something, by all means, you're going to need to dialogue it. You're not going to just be able to say, hey, I've made a decision and this is it. It's like talk it out, and hopefully people can reach agreement on this. You'll pick what's right for everybody, because why?
Well, it's mostly important to just maintain a really neutral stance and try to be calm and, declarative rather than projective.
Right. Don't approach this. Number one, don't approach this by, demanding or saying, this is it. If we can't do it this way, I'm out of here. Don't take that approach of my way or the highway, you guys, you fixed signs.
It's an appeal to logic or wisdom.
Right. And also the heart, because we have the cups here. And so I feel, you have to make sure that you are picking an option that has everybody's best interests at heart. And I feel the High Priestess here will help you get there. Go with your gut.
All right.
That's what we have for you. Good luck with that fixed signs.
So now we are on to the final modality, the Mutables.
Last but not least, and I think
no. Mutables are Gemini, it's you again.
okay.
Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And they have the tendency to go with the flow. They're usually adaptable and flexible and versatile, but they are resourceful in their own right, and they can change when necessary. They're quite easy to change. That's that mutability there. They can change and assume various personas, so they're chameleons of the zodiac. They're well liked by others. You know, they just sort of seem to be fun-loving or easygoing. They enjoy learning, playing fair, diplomacy, sharp, sympathetic, etc. But they do have some
they can try
negatives.
too hard sometimes. I'm letting them shuffle. They can, and ruin my cards.
How are they being ruined? Neither of us are mutables, by the way.
They are trying too hard, the mutables. Sometimes, you know, they bend too easily to the point that they can appear wishy-washy. They may go back and forth because they're trying to please everybody. And, you know, you can't always do that. And also, you can just, you know, you mutables, you can spread yourselves too thin.
Indeed.
You know what happens to a rubber band when it's spread too thin?
They snap.
Yeah.
I timed that just right, didn't
I? Yes, you did.
All right. So, card 1 for the mutables. What is the primary focus?
Man, I hope it's something good, but no. It's the King of Cups reversed. Speaking of emotions and getting carried away, you know, this is your primary focus is to try to rein in your emotions, to not allow your emotions to get the better of you, mutable signs. You know, you could be, like we were talking here, you could be easily taken advantage of. You could be run ragged by people looking to you for support and stuff. You know, don't enable others, you know, try to help others. And so be wary of this.
I think this is also saying too that, you know, the focus of this month may be saying that you have to draw that line with kindness,
boundaries,
kindness and niceness, you know, that sometimes you can be nice but not kind and vice versa. And you have to know the difference between each because you may need to be both or other things.
So what about your relations with people? How will that be affected, or what will happen? Oh my goodness, it's the Ace of Swords reversed. I swear I did not put all these cards in reversal.
I don't know what happened.
I don't either. But I guess it's just that energies of the month. So, you know, with people this month, it may be hard reaching agreements with them, moving forward with them. It just may be difficult working with others. There may be a little bit of aggression, you know, either on your own part or others' part to get things to get on track. But it just seems like it's a slow, sluggish start, doesn't it?
And it really seems too like when you're trying to maybe carve out your own space with your team, if it's a work team or your cronies or whatever it is, they're not buying it maybe too, that they're sort of feeling like they don't want to follow your cause. They're not really being thrilled by your ideas. So it may be you should just, you know, not see that happening.
So what about the challenges or opportunities in the month ahead? Well, let's hope there's an opportunity, and lo and behold, it's the Three of Wands upright.
Well, that's a good sign then for a change.
That is a good sign. So I think the opportunity is that this month is a good time to look ahead. Focus forward, because it seems as though despite what may be going on in some areas of your life, there are plans and projects that are moving forward. I almost think that I'm not seeing, I'm seeing this might be separate from what's going on here, maybe.
I think so too, and I think that this is the idea that what this is based on should be where you have been successful in the past, especially recently, and that if this was about really getting people to look at something new, they're not buying it, like I said. So really think about what has worked and what you can plan from. That's where your opportunities lie.
Well, the opportunity lies in strategic planning and moving forward, because it seems as though some things are reaping some rewards for you. So, you can maximize that by some forward thinking. So that's the opportunity. And how best can you use your superpowers this month? This is very interesting to me because it falls in line with the Three of Wands in a way. It's the Hermit. Maybe you need to pull back, have a little retreat, and try to think things through. Try to do some forward planning. Try to do some visionary work.
Going it alone might be a good idea because some of the other aspects seem to show that your interactions were half-baked a little bit.
Yeah, I almost think like you will make more progress this month in solitary activities, because right here, if we look at the beginning again, if we start back at the beginning, the King of Cups, it just seems like you're in a very vulnerable position right now, right? Your emotions are a little bit high strung, and so you could be taken advantage of, or you could act out and kind of, put people off.
For some reason, the month almost seems to be inclined to show that you're just not in a receptive mood. Maybe it's the stars, maybe it's some other things going on, but this is not your month to be, brimming with the milk of human kindness, and that's not a bad thing necessarily. Maybe this is just the warning sign gathering idea that ultimately moving towards the hermit solitary role works best for you this month. Focusing on your own stuff.
So, with others here, it just seems as though things are slow to get off the ground, but also perhaps there's a sense in this feeling of being treated unfairly by others. There's that possibility. It just seems as though there could be some anger or aggression. Again, when we look at, the King of Cups next door there,
your
tensions could be high.
Your approach was gruff maybe, and so people aren't buying it.
And so, again, you mutables enjoy learning and engaging in learning and stuff. So maybe this is a time to research and plot a strategic course forward, and based on, as Mr. O has suggested, recent successes, things may have been coming through for you. And so
move them forward.
Yes, move that forward or move forward from there. And maybe these are things that you can work on, at least as far as strategic planning goes, on your own. And the Hermit reinforces
and ultimately,
that.
You may actually show somebody something else at the end of it all, too, that by working alone, you were able to solve a problem or find an insight that you needed to find that maybe you wouldn't have been able to otherwise, that maybe other people might have distracted you from that or drawn you to another area. Whatever the reason, it would be better for you to maybe focus solely.
I know you guys like to help others and work with others, but the thing is, the Hermit is saying this month is better served on solitary activities as much as you can. If there are projects at work that you are working on that doesn't involve others, that should be your focus. If this is, some kind of community organizing or activities, it should be your focus to pull back. Sometimes you can help others more by taking steps back, maybe doing some research or learning on your own, and bringing your findings back to the group when the time is right.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So that's what we have for the modalities for this month. We're sorry we're a day late. I'm not going to say it'll never happen again, but it happened. So thanks to everybody for watching this and liking, and we'll be back next season when it is Pisces season.
Wrapping up a year.
All right. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.